It's that time of year again, folks. I'm Lane from Lane's Man Cave, and here is my 2025 NFL mock draft. Let's go. With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward. The Titans added to their offensive line in free agency, and they don't have a franchise quarterback in place. Ward is the best signal caller in this class. I am concerned that he is an older prospect and has a super low ceiling, but I'll admit I had those same concerns with Jayden Daniels. Ward has the arm strength and playmaking abilities to be a franchise QB, and he can be really good with the right coaching. With the second pick, the Cleveland Browns select Travis Hunter. Travis has already said that he wants to play on both sides of the ball at the NFL level, and the Browns will allow him to do that. While Jerry Jeudy just came off a career year, they don't have a true number one wideout, and while Denzel Ward is still a very good corner, it never hurts to add a CB2. Hunter would give the Browns a number one pass catcher for a rookie quarterback either in the second round or next year, and someone that can make their defense one of the best in football. With the third pick, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter. The Giants added Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, meaning they do not have to reach for a QB with this pick. So instead, they draft the best defender in this class. The Giants already have a good defensive line, but Carter can develop into one of the best pass rushers in the NFL with his elite athleticism and pass rush toolbox. Carter will be lined up behind the best defender in the NFL, Dexter Lawrence, who faces more double teams than anyone else, and across from Brian Burns, who had 9 sacks and over 60 pressures. Carter could easily reach double-digit sacks as a rookie. With the fourth pick, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell. It is unclear whether Campbell will play tackle or guard at the next level, but the Patriots are desperate for both. The Patriots added Garrett Bradbury and Morgan Moses in free agency, but they still have a massive hole at left tackle that Campbell can fill. Campbell's arm length is concerning, but he has the footwork and pop to do it. If the Eagles have taught us anything this year, it's that the trenches win championships. Obviously the Pats are far from that, but Drake May has proven he can be the franchise quarterback, and he needs protection. With the fifth pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mason Graham. The Jaguars have holes on all 3 levels of defense, allowing nearly 6 yards per play, which only the Panthers allowed more. Graham may be the safest pick in this year's draft. He has free down upside and game-wrecking ability as both a pass rusher and run stopper. Graham would be able to unlock the Jags' defensive line with his elite strength, explosiveness, and football intelligence. With the sixth pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Jeanty. The Raiders' rushing attack was at the bottom of the NFL in yards per carry, and with Pete Carroll as head coach, he likes to run the ball, as we've seen with Marshawn Lynch. Obviously, Jeanty has a different play style than Lynch did, but he is the best running back prospect we've seen since Saquon Barkley. Jeanty can be a free down back and has the elusiveness and vision to completely change the Raiders' offense. With the seventh pick, the New York Jets select Armand Membu. Olu Fashanu was solid in his limited snaps, but with Tyron Smith retiring and losing Morgan Moses in free agency, the Jets will need another tackle, especially with a quarterback like Justin Fields. Adding Membu would give the Jets their starting tackles for the next decade. He could start at right tackle right away, as he only allowed 1 sack last year and has been playing on the right side for his entire college career. With the 8th pick, the Carolina Panthers select Jalen Walker. The Panthers' defense needs all the help it can get, and Walker can line up as either an edge rusher or off-ball linebacker, but will probably end up in an off-ball role at the NFL level, as he is undersized for an edge. Walker is a natural playmaker with agility and explosiveness, and his versatility will be a perfect fit in Ejiro Elviro's defense. With the 9th pick, the New Orleans Saints select Shedeur Sanders. There is a good chance that Derek Carr has played his last game as a Saint, with his shoulder injury putting his entire 2025 season in jeopardy. Spencer Rattler has been okay when he was on the field, but new head coach Kellen Moore may not want to commit to Rattler. I have a lot of concerns about Sanders at the NFL level. He's not athletic, and he doesn't have good arm strength, but this is a desperation pick for the Saints. With the 10th pick, the Chicago Bears select Kelvin Banks. The Bears are having a great offseason so far, hiring Ben Johnson as their head coach, who could easily be a top 5 coach this year. and completely revamping their interior offensive line by trading for Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson and signing Drew Dahlman, but they could still use upgrades at tackle. Banks gives the Bears another serviceable pass blocker with strong hands and agility. Caleb Williams had a good rookie year, but was sacked a whopping 68 times, which is tied for third all-time in a season. For that reason alone, the Bears need as much protection as they can possibly get. With the 11th pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Will Johnson. Johnson was injured for most of the year, but when he is healthy, he is at worst a top 6 player in this draft class. The Niners lost a lot of key players in free agency, especially in the secondary. Johnson has excellent ball skills, instincts, and intelligence. He would be a star right away in Robert Saleh's defense. With the 12th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Tetairoa McMillan. After CeeDee Lamb led the NFL in targets for the past 2 seasons, McMillan would finally give the Cowboys a secondary playmaker. McMillan is a physical X-receiver, has outstanding leaping ability, and makes contested catches look routine. The Cowboys' passing attack should be better next year with healthy Dak Prescott, but it will all depend on how the O-line holds up. With the 13th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jahdae Barron. With Jalen Ramsey requesting a trade, the Dolphins' secondary will be paper thin this season. Barron is an older prospect, but has high football IQ and elite versatility. He plays best as a slot corner, but can easily play on the outside and even at safety, which is crucial considering the Dolphins lost Javon Holland. Barron's intelligence and motor will make him a building block in Anthony Weaver's secondary. With the 14th pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren. Even with losses on the interior offensive line, tight end remains a need for the Colts, and Warren sliding at 14 is a dream come true. As the Colts tight end room didn't even reach 500 receiving yards combined, Warren is a dynamic offensive weapon with elite athleticism, separation ability, and a large catch radius. Warren is also capable of lining up as a slot receiver and even in the backfield. Shane Steichen is one of the few offensive minds that will maximize Warren's versatility, and quarterback Anthony Richardson needs all the help he can get to ensure that he can be the Colts QB of the future. With the 15th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Shamar Stewart. The Falcons' pass rush only had 31 sacks last season. Only the Patriots had less. Stewart has some of the most intriguing traits. His speed, length, and power were all on display at the Combine, but he only had 4.5 sacks at Texas A&M. That being said, Texas A&M hasn't been the best at developing defensive linemen. Stewart has elite bend for his size, and with the right coaching, can be dominant in the NFL. With the 16th pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Mykel Williams. The Cardinals are a team that need as much defensive help as they can get. They started off by signing Josh Sweat, who will reunite with Jonathan Gannon. Williams still needs to develop as a pass rusher, but he is already elite at stopping the run. Williams is agile and naturally powerful, and his physical tools will help continue his development under Gannon. With the 17th pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select Mike Green. The Bengals are another team with holes all over on defense. Their defense allowed 25 points per game last year and held them back from being a playoff team. Green is an explosive, powerful, and pro-ready pass rusher, and led the FBS with 17 sacks. Green would be a great secondary pass rusher alongside Trey Hendrickson, and would be a step in the right direction for rebuilding the Bengals' defense. With the 18th pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Josh Simmons. If it weren't for injuries, Simmons would have an argument as the best tackle in this class, as he has elite explosiveness and agility for his size. The Seahawks desperately need help on their offensive line, especially with Sam Darnold as their new quarterback, who got sacked 9 times against the Rams in his last game with the Vikings. Darnold will now have to face the Rams twice a year. With the 19th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Jahad Campbell. The Bucs need help almost everywhere on defense. With Levante David now in the twilight of his career, the Bucs have an opportunity to draft his successor. Campbell has the physical tools to be overpowering at every aspect of the game. While he's primarily an off-ball linebacker, he had 12 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks last year at Alabama, meaning he could also be used as a pass rusher. David can be a perfect mentor for Campbell as they have similar play styles. With the 20th pick, the Denver Broncos select Omarion Hampton. The Broncos lack a true RB1, with Jaleel McLaughlin and Audric Estime competing for that spot. Hampton is still one of the most underrated prospects in this class, as he is closer to Genty than many people would like to admit. Hampton is a power back with sneaky athleticism and great vision. The Broncos need someone to take pressure off Bo Nix, and Hampton has the free down abilities to do so. Not to mention, he will be running behind an elite offensive line. With the 21st pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenneth Grant. Aaron Rodgers hasn't verbally committed to the Steelers yet, but even if he doesn't, it's too early to take a quarterback like Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. The Steelers already have an elite defensive line, but Cameron Hayward is 36 and won't be around forever. Grant is a monster at nose tackle. He's an exceptional athlete for his size, and his pass rush upside is rare for his position, which will allow him to beat double teams with ease. With the 22nd pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Colston Loveland. This pick feels obvious, with Loveland's connection to Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers' glaring need for pass catchers. Loveland has flown under the radar because of Tyler Warren, but Loveland has great hands, is dangerous after the catch, and can even play as an outside receiver. I do not like Greg Roman as the Chargers' offensive coordinator, but one thing he is good at is using his tight ends. With the 23rd pick, the Green Bay Packers select James Pierce Jr. Pierce is not my favorite prospect in this class, but the Packers are in need of pass rush help alongside Rashad Gary. Pierce's pass rush moves are in need of development, but he has good bend and quickness off the edge. Pierce still needs a lot of development and will need to put on some weight at the NFL level. With the 24th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Malachi Starks. Starks could be a star right away in Brian Flores' defense. Starks thrives in coverage and was lined up all over the backfield at Georgia, including at free safety and nickel corner. The Vikings lost Cam Bynum in free agency, and Harrison Smith is in the twilight of his career. Starks will be an upgrade in both the short and long term. With the 25th pick, the Houston Texans select Tyler Booker. The Texans are projected to have the worst offensive line in football this year, and Booker was a dominant force among Alabama's interior. He's not the most athletic guard in the world, but his intelligence and power as a run blocker will make Booker an immediate threat in the NFL. With the 26th pick, the Los Angeles Rams select Nick Emmanwori. The Rams' defense was surprisingly good last year under new defensive coordinator Chris Shula. Emmanwori would add another playmaker in the backfield. Emmanwori plays like a safety linebacker hybrid, excelling in both run support and physical matchups. His physical traits are unmatched, as shown in the combine. With the 27th pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Walter Nolan. With Michael Pierce retired, the Ravens look to add another force to their interior defensive line, and Nolan could easily be the best tackle in this class. Nolan has frightening explosiveness for his size, stable pass rush moves, and is a wrecking ball against the run. Nolan lined across Nnamdi Madubuike will make the Ravens' defensive line dangerous. With the 28th pick, the Detroit Lions select Donovan Ezaraku. After moving on from Zadarius Smith, the Lions now have a hole across from Aiden Hutchinson. Ezaraku is a polished pass rusher with a wide range of moves. He doesn't have the size to be an every down defensive end just yet, but his speed can make it challenging for opposing offensive linemen. With the 29th pick, the Washington Commanders select Nick Scorton. Scorton didn't have high-level production last year, but both A&M and Purdue have been using Scorton as an outside linebacker when his skill set is best suited for a true defensive end. The Commanders have a glaring hole at defensive end, and Scorton has the size, speed, and length to be an effective run stopper, and has a deep pass rush toolbox, and could very well be the steal of the draft. With the 30th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Derek Harmon. The Bills prioritized adding depth to their defensive line, signing Joey Bosa, Larry Ogunjobi, and Michael Hoyt. Adding Harmon would give the Bills a long-term wrecking ball alongside Ed Oliver. Harmon is a free-down contributor with quick hands and an effective bull rush. Harmon led all defensive tackles in the nation in quarterback pressures. With the 31st pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Conerly Jr. The Chiefs' offensive tackles were exposed in the Super Bowl, and have started 6 different left tackles over the last 4 seasons, Connerly would finally give the Chiefs their long-term answer for protecting Mahomes' blindside. Connerly only allowed 2 sacks in his entire college career and allowed the lowest pressure rate in the nation. And finally, with the 32nd pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Gray Zabel. Zabel is a physical offensive lineman with 5-position versatility, but because of his arm length, he will be playing inside at the NFL level. The Eagles lost Mekhi Becton to the Chargers, and now have an opening at right guard. Zabel is used to playing in run-heavy offenses at North Dakota State, and the pick would make sure the Eagles remain strong in the trenches. And that does it for today's video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.